Our top story, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has warned the US, saying that anyone in conflict with Tehran will be hit multiple times. The Supreme Leader's remarks come a day after newly appointed Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visited Saudi Arabia, Israel and Jordan. The Iranian religious leader also accused Washington of trying to stoke a regional crisis by provoking its ally Saudi Arabia to confront Iran. In an apparent reference to Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei said, "One of the ways to confront Iran is to provoke inexperienced rulers of the region. Americans are trying to provoke Saudi Arabia against Tehran. Their aim is to create a regional crisis to push Muslims to fight against Muslims." Ayatollah Khamenei also reiterated the long-standing call for the US to leave the region. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hit out at Iran, saying that Tehran has lied about never having pursued nuclear weapons. Prime Minister Netanyahu, during a prime-time televised address, said, "Iran's leaders repeatedly deny ever pursuing nuclear weapons. Today, I am here to tell you one thing, that Iran lied." After signing the nuclear deal in 2015, Iran intensified its efforts to hide its secret files. In 2017, Iran moved its nuclear weapons files to a highly secret location. The Israeli leader showed pictures and videos reportedly to be of that historic Iranian secret nuclear facility, as well as Iranian documents and plans to develop atomic weapons. US President Donald Trump has threatened to withdraw from the 2015 agreement reached between Iran and global powers. The US has, in a statement, said, "America is aware of the information just released by Israel and continues to examine it carefully. The Iranian regime has shown it will use destructive weapons against its neighbors and others. Iran must never have nuclear weapons." Iran has called Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu an infamous liar over those allegations. Iran's foreign ministry has said that the Israeli Prime Minister has nothing to offer except for lies and deceit. WION's Daniel Pagani now joins us from Amman in Jordan. Evening, Daniel. Many, though, say that what the Israeli Prime Minister showed was evidence is not really a smoking gun, that Iran is pursuing its nuclear weapons program post the 2015 deal.
And they wouldn't be wrong. Good evening to you, Amitabh, and to all our viewers. So they wouldn't be wrong. The fact that he gave information which he called new and relevant information is not exactly true. In fact, if we go through what he said, for instance, that Iran had a project for developing nuclear weapons, for instance, that Iran was particularly studying how to put a nuclear warhead on their Shahab-3 missile. These details were already known back in 2015, where the International Agency for the Atomic Energy wrote the final report, the final assessment of nuclear capabilities. These were all news that we already knew. The only thing that is actually something which needs to make all of us think is to understand why Iran tried to hide part of the documents related to their nuclear capabilities from the public domain. So this is a question that Tehran will surely need to answer in front of the international community.
Daniel Pagani reporting live from Amman in Jordan. Thanks for that. Ireland is witnessing a heated debate over an alleged racial slur against the first Irish Prime Minister, who is of Indian heritage, Leo Varadkar. Reacting to a report which accused Varadkar of poor manners during a visit to Northern Ireland, the former Ulster Unionist Lord Clooney has called him a typical Indian. Clooney's tweets have, however, sparked anger with leaders across the political spectrum, calling the comment racist and demanding action against him from the House. Leo Varadkar had become Ireland's youngest Prime Minister last June. His father is Indian and his mother Irish. Mandy now joining us live from London for more on that. Evening, Mandy. Though there has been a lot of anger, he's refused to withdraw his tweet saying that the first Prime Minister has himself said that he is half Indian.
It's a bizarre argument. He's saying that it's not an insult because he is half Indian, and also what he said when he meant typical Indian is that they wouldn't be aware of the subtleties of the issues that are around the Northern Ireland peace process. It seems his way of trying to somehow get away from what seems blatantly racist remarks, as you mentioned, from all sides of the political spectrum. They've condemned his language, his casual racism. Leo Varadkar has not responded at all to this. It's unlikely he will. We have reached out to his office. We've also reached out to the Lord to find out why he doesn't believe his comments are racist, and he too has declined to comment. So there has been complaints that have been sent to the Lord's chambers. They say they can't really control them over Twitter, but it's an issue that won't likely go away, where to help the Prime Minister of a country in such a derogatory way.
Mandy Clark updating us live from London. The big story back home, elections in India's southern state of Karnataka are due in just 12 days, and campaigning is reaching a fever pitch in the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the BJP charge. In his first election rally in Karnataka before these polls, the Prime Minister launched a direct attack on Congress President Rahul Gandhi, throwing him an open challenge. The Prime Minister making the election a PM Modi versus Congress President Rahul Gandhi fight. He also tore into the dynastic politics of the Congress party.
कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष जी ने हाल ही में मुझे एक चुनौती दी। उन्होंने कहा, अगर मैं संसद में 15 मिनट बोलूंगा तो मोदी जी बैठ भी नहीं पाएंगे। ये उन्होंने मुझे चुनौती दी है। वे 15 मिनट बोलेंगे, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी बात है। और मैं बैठ नहीं पाऊंगा, ये सुनकर तो मुझे याद आता है, वाह क्या सीन है। कांग्रेस के श्रीमान अध्यक्ष जी, आपने सही फरमाया है। हम आपके सामने नहीं बैठ सकते। आप तो नामदार है, नामदार। और हम कामदारों की क्या हैसियत कि हम आपके सामने बैठ पाएं? अरे आप तो नामदार हैं, हम तो कामदार हैं। हम तो अच्छे कपड़े भी नहीं पहन सकते हैं, आपके सामने बैठने का हमें हक कहां पे हो सकता है? लेकिन नामदार, आपकी इस बातों से मुझे चोट नहीं पहुंचती है, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने सदियों से ये झेला है। नामदारों के जुल्म झेलते झेलते आए हैं, और इसलिए आपकी ऐसी किसी बात से हम हताहत नहीं होते हैं। हम झेलने की ताकत बढ़ाते चले जा रहे हैं। मोदी जी को छोड़ो नामदार, इस कामदार की क्या, ठीक है हम तो है कामदार है, लेकिन एक काम करो, आप इस चुनाव अभियान के दरमियान कर्नाटक में आपको जो भाषा पसंद हो उस भाषा में, हिंदी बोल सके तो हिंदी, अंग्रेजी बोल सके तो अंग्रेजी, आपकी माताजी की मातृभाषा बोल सके तो मातृभाषा, आप 15 मिनट हाथ में कागज लिए बिना कर्नाटक की आपकी सरकार की अचीवमेंट, सिद्धियां 15 मिनट कर्नाटक की जनता के सामने बोल दीजिए।
The Prime Minister is campaigning in 15 rallies over the course of the next 5 days. He's also addressing rallies in Udupi in coastal Karnataka and Chikodi in northern Karnataka. The Prime Minister is fielding a battery of cabinet ministers, including Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Information and Broadcasting Minister Smriti Irani, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, besides chief ministers such as Yogi Adityanath and Devendra Fadnavis. The Karnataka elections are a question of survival for the Congress, whose footprint in the country is falling, and Chief Minister Sitharaman has run a spirited campaign. Prior to the Prime Minister's rally, in a series of tweets, Mr. Sitharaman attacked the Prime Minister, saying, "You first make scam-tainted B.S. Yedurappa, your party's Chief Minister, face in Karnataka. Then media reports that you don't want to be seen sharing the stage with him at rallies. Karnataka wants to know if Yedurappa is still your Chief Ministerial candidate." Narendra Modi responded to the Karnataka Chief Minister and declared during his rallies that BSY, as he is known, is in fact the party's Chief Ministerial candidate. Joining us live now from Bengaluru is WION's Nishita Virendra. Nishita, it seems like instead of it being the BJP versus the Congress or Yedurappa versus Sitharaman, the Prime Minister is pitching himself directly against the Congress President.
Absolutely. It seems like the Prime Minister is trying to twist these assembly elections in Karnataka to an NDA versus UPA battle, a glimpse of which we had received a few days back when he addressed the MLAs and MPs through a video conference on the Modi app. So the Prime Minister, just a few highlights on his two speeches, one that was delivered in Chamarajanagar and the other in the state's coastal Udupi district. He went on to portray Congress as an elitist party, the whole Namdar versus Kamdar argument that we heard him say. And while he did speak about Rahul Gandhi's challenge of a 15-minute verbal duel with the Prime Minister in the Parliament, he managed to deflect it entirely and going on to mock him, saying that he should learn to pronounce words like Vishweshwaraya, something that had become a meme of sorts after Rahul Gandhi had fumbled a few weeks back. But while the Prime Minister did manage to target the Congress government on various issues, but it was largely the UPA government, the preceding central governments that he targeted, and he completely steered clear of the state government's achievements of what the B.S. Yedurappa government had done right before the Congress government was elected to power in 2013, whether it is the Lingayat issue or whether it is the language issue or the flag issue. The Prime Minister did not speak of the matter at all, but we can see that an obvious side effect to the whole whipping up of pro-Kannada sentiments in the state was witnessed in these speeches, as well as a prolonged duration of time was spent in attempting to speak in Kannada, at least in both the speeches. So certainly the Prime Minister has come down, and this is something that the state BJP had been hoping for, as they wanted an effective counter to Siddaramaya's aggressive campaign in the state. But at the same time, since the Prime Minister has restricted his campaigns to just 5 days from the previously planned 15 days, it will give him very short duration to really make a sound impact. But let's not forget that Karnataka, just a year after the 2013 elections in the state that had given a clear mandate to the Congress, had given 17 seats in the Lok Sabha elections in the year 2014 to the BJP.
Nishita Virendra reporting live from Bengaluru. Thanks for that. Good news for Indian flyers, as in-flight mobile connectivity in Indian airspace has received the Telecom Commission's nod. In-flight connectivity will be allowed in both domestic as well as international airlines entering Indian airspace. The Telecom Commission also says that the license for in-flight connectivity will be provided at just ₹1. That's the fee that will be charged. In fact, the Telecom Commission has accepted all recommendations of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India to make in-flight connectivity a reality. The recommendations include that in-flight connectivity will be available once the aircraft has achieved an altitude of 3,000 meters. A flight generally reaches that altitude of 3,000 meters about 4 or 5 minutes after takeoff. Globally, internet services are available on board aircraft and are charged at premium rates over what is available otherwise. Molly Gambhir now joining us from WION's newsroom. Molly, outside Indian airspace, we do know how much we have to pay for internet or mobile connectivity, but who is going to decide the pricing and how much will it be in Indian airspace?
Absolutely, the finer details still being worked out, Amitabh. This is a proposal that was given by the Department of Telecommunications, which has now been approved by the Telecom Commission. So we do expect the finer details to be given out over the next few weeks. But this is a proposal which will see implementation over the next 3 to 4 months. We are also aware that this is a move which will be allowing those flying above Indian airspace with an altitude of 3,000 meters. That, of course, is attained within an air flight of 5 to 6 minutes. So that's when an aircraft actually achieves that altitude of 3,000 meters, and that's when this in-flight connectivity, which allows users to make both calls and also access the internet while in flight, will be allowed. And now the next step when it comes to the procedure is that the Department of Telecommunication will have to make some amendments to the laws which will allow the providers who will be working out the finer details to also be added to the laws so that these internet connectivity providers can actually be included in the laws which allow for these services. But having said that, this of course is a huge step forward when it comes to connectivity while on flight, a move that has been considered for the longest time, and that's something that the Telecom Commission has given its nod for now.
Molly Gambhir, thanks for that. All those details from the newsroom. The Indian government's central unified tax, the GST, the goods and services tax, has brought in revenues of over 1 lakh crore rupees. That's roughly $15 billion. And this is only last month. April is the first month in which GST collection came in above 1 lakh crore rupees. This is since the rollout of the new indirect tax regime in July last year. India's Ministry of Finance has said that the buoyancy in tax collections under the GST reflects the upswing in the economy. It goes on to say that that's also because of better compliance. The total revenue earned by central and state governments in the month of April this year the figure has been released by the Finance Ministry, 32,493 crore rupees for central GST, and it's 40,257 crore rupees for state GST. The Finance Ministry had earlier said that the revenue gap of each state is coming down since the GST was introduced, pointing out that the average revenue gap of all states for the last year is around 17%. So this is the first time that these figures released by the Finance Ministry show that the monthly revenue from the goods and services tax has breached or gone above the 1 lakh crore rupee mark. That's roughly at a current currency rates about $15 billion. And that's for last month, that's for April 2018. Sumit Chaturvedi now joining us from our newsroom. Sumit, this figure seems to be extremely significant.
Well, absolutely, Amitabh. Since last year when GST was implemented, there were doubts every month that what kind of figures is it going to be there as far as the income tax collections are concerned. So initially, for a few months, the overall collection dropped. This was particularly because of low production base or low manufacturing that was there after GST kicked in. And then there were concerns, but now it seems that the concerns are over because this kind of figure is something government had desired, and definitely it's going to help government as far as economic reforms and the push regarding this is concerned. So yes, the first month of April, first month of the new financial year has passed, and government has released this figure, 1 lakh crore rupees, around $15 billion, is quite a commendable figure when it comes to GST. Well, overall, as far as government is concerned, these two reforms, the GST and note ban, there are questions were raised every now and then whether these reforms have been able to fulfill the expectations. And now it looks like the GST, yes, has been able to fulfill the expectations, but on behind this. They have been good. We can say that our government also pushed a lot because the overall compliance has also increased. The taxation has increased. People more and more are participating. But now government is after people who haven't filed the income tax returns as well. So that's going to increase further. But this kind of number, clearly a big thumbs up to the government.
A big thumbs up to the government from these figures. Sumit Chaturvedi, thanks for those details from the WION newsroom. A former contractor at Cambridge Analytica has revealed that microblogging platform Twitter sold users data without their knowledge. According to the report, Twitter sold public data access in 2015 to Alexander Kogan, who was then a psychology researcher with the University of Cambridge, and his company, Global Science Research. Kogan has said that he created tools for Cambridge Analytica that allowed the political consultancy to psychologically profile and target voters. Twitter has, however, said that it had banned Global Science Research and Cambridge Analytica from buying data or running advertisements on the website, and that no private data has been accessed. In the meanwhile, Cambridge Analytica has tweeted, "We have never received Twitter data from GSR or Alexander Kogan and have never done any work with GSR on Twitter data. GSR was only ever a contractor to Cambridge Analytica, and we understand it did work for many other companies." Let's go to the WION newsroom where Ankit Tuteja now joins us for more on that. So another alleged data breach. We've seen how the Indian government reacted to the first one when it was a Facebook notices. 2 notices have been given. But what more details do we know about this data breach?
So, Amitabh, more than a data breach, it would be technically wrong to call it a data breach. Instead, we should be looking at how the companies are using privacy policy. It's a matter of not so fair privacy policy than data breach. Because what happens, Twitter has a privacy policy of sharing public data of users with the organization who want to understand sentiments and want to draw an analysis. Or basically, the idea is to understand that how companies, organizations basically want to understand sentiments and analysis. And Twitter has this policy, they share public data of users with companies that request public data. And the point here is that how fair is it on the part of Twitter to share user data with other organizations and companies? Having said that, we need to understand that on the surface level, it could come out as not a case of data breach. But given the data breach scandal that happened at Facebook, there is a possibility that Cambridge Analytica, or say Alexander Kogan, they correlated data accessed by them from Facebook and Twitter.
Ankit Tuteja reporting from the WION newsroom. Thanks for making that story clear.